This is Chandelier, keeping it real. It's Chandelier, keeping it real. It is 3:58. I hope everybody is having a blessed Thursday, because I am. I have another topic for y'all, another talk video. You know, I love to do my talk video when God bring them to me in my heart to speak through my mouth to you guys. Now, I want to get into talking about domestic violence that's going on in this whole entire nation. It ain't just men being violent, it's also women being violent too. So never ever get that twisted, because men is getting abused just as well as the women. You just don't hear about it as much as women would speak it out, because men got their pride, and so they don't really want people to know that they're getting beat up by their wife or beat up by their girlfriend. You know, they got this little ego thing going on. You know, but for us women, we're gonna tell it straight out. But sometimes it takes us women, you know, longer too to tell it, because we get threatened, you know, if you tell anyone, you know, what they'll do to you and all this type of stuff. And when these people do these things like this, now we're talking about men and women. We're not just talking about the men. Men and women are violent. Some people are violent towards their significant others. And that means husband or wife, boyfriend or girlfriend is being abusive to the other one. So these people that do these things, they're called cowards, punks, woman beaters, and men beaters. Because they won't run up on a woman doing that. Woman that beat up on men is not going to run up on another woman and try that. A man that jumps on a woman, he's not going to run up on another man and try that, because they don't know how that other person is going to react. You know, they know how their significant other is going to react, because they're there in the household with them every day. So they don't beat their self-esteem down so much to where they is frightened. They even look in the mirror at their own self sometimes. You know, the person gets jumpy. You know, your nerves is up. You're stressed out. You're afraid. You know, you can't eat. You can't sleep. You can't think, because you don't know when the next slap is coming, or the next punch is coming, or the next choke out is coming. You know, the next black eye. You know, they always find a reason to beat you up, because their self-esteem is low. And men and women that do this, they don't have no control over their own life. So they want something or somebody to control, so they can feel macho. You know, they want to call your every shot. They want to, you know, control your every aspect of your life. You know, if you met the person wearing makeup, you met them dressing nice, you know, why would you want to try and change them? You know, they don't want you to wear makeup. They don't want you to dress nice. Why you got on these heels for? You know, why you wearing perfume? Oh, you going out? Oh, what time you coming back? Oh, I'm watching the clock. It won't take that long to go here. Don't take that. You don't need a clock on your back. You know, like I said, you could do better by yourself. You're already raised. You can't be raised no more. Like my mother used to always say, you can't raise another grown person, because they're already raised. You know, if you want somebody to be in control of, go have your child and control them, and you still got to be careful with them, because you can't slap them around neither. You know, or you'll be locked up in jail. So you got to be careful how you treat a person, because all that slapping and banging and choking them out and throwing them down on the ground and snatching them by their hair and pulling them down like that and putting them in choke holes and stuff like that, that is terrible. All you're going to do is make the person just leave you. And they'll find a way to leave you. It's always tricks and tricks to leaving a person. You know? And anybody that's been in an abusive relationship, understand and know what I'm talking about. You know? Because like I said, I don't talk about things that I did not experience myself. So I could talk about these things because I experienced it myself. I've been there. So anybody know how to get out of a relationship, they know what I'm talking about. You know, because you don't have to stay in a relationship like that. You as an adult, you as a grown person, I know people get scared and get fused with, oh, he might find me, or oh, she might find me. No, you would not be found. You know, if you don't want to be found, you're not going to be found, because you got so many agencies, so many people out there that's willing to help people and to get you away from your abuser, your abused boyfriend, your abuser girlfriend, your abuser husband, or your abuser wife. Now we're talking about both sexes, male and female, so don't get it twisted. I'm not just talking about men, I'm talking about women too. So it's always a way to get away from that abuser. And you will not be found, because people will protect you. It's all kind of agencies and groups and stuff like that that you go to, all kind of like houses and communities and stuff that'll set you up. You know, even if you have kids, you know, set you and your children up. Or you don't have kids, you know, they still set you up, to get you away from that abusive person. You know, so you wind up hurting them, or they hurt you, or God forbid, you know, some other type of tragedy, you know, come ahead. I said, that is terrible for a person to feel that they want to whoop on somebody. Who are you to put your hands on anybody? Like I tell people, if you feel like you want to scratch your hands, put your hand in your pocket. Don't raise your hand and act like you want to scratch your head. You know? Because ain't nobody going to keep letting nobody abuse them and abuse them and abuse them. And then you just talk down to them and just talk down to them till they feel what you saying they are. Or you this and you that. We're not going to go all into, you know, the calling of the names, because anybody that view this here segment here of domestic violence, they know what I'm talking about. All the names that they could call you. And we're talking about men and women. Because women can call some names too. Some women got foul mouth is just as worse as men. You know, so we know what the name calling and all the name calling and stuff like that, that'll beat you down too, to the ground. And make you feel less than. That'll beat a person's self-esteem down so low to you would need actually counseling, you know, to bring yourself back up. You know, sometimes even medications, because now you're sad, you're depressed, you're scared, you're nervous, you got anxiety, you got depression, you got post-traumatic stress disorder, you got all these things going on, you know, and it's just so sad, you know. And then you got if they say they're coming back, they're not coming back, and then they disappear. So now you got this what do you call it? This, it's a kind of like disorder, like a fear of abandonment issues going on, along with the stress, you know, and along with the anxiety. So you got all this and the PSD. That's a lot for one person to take on. Then you got your children you got to take care of, make sure they fed and dressed and clean and bathed and, you know, going to school, you know, before the coronavirus. You got all this stuff, you know, because men have their kids too now. You know, so this man, he probably got his kids, got to get them together and stuff. Then you got this abusive girlfriend coming home, or this abusive wife coming home, want to run things because she figures she's paying all the bills and stuff. I don't care who paying bills, if you paying bills together, or one person's taking on the bills, while the other person is cooking, cleaning, taking care of house. You know, you're still working together as a unit, as a family. Don't say how much more than you doing than the next person. You know, because you're not, especially if that person is putting in what they're supposed to put into the household. Okay, they're cooking, they're cleaning, they're doing laundry, they take care of the kids, taking them back and forth to school. Okay, you out there working, you bringing home the bacon and stuff like that, so to speak. But you're still working together. You don't need to throw stuff in people's face, you know, calling them names and stuff like that. You know, because all that name calling, all you're going to do is have that person walk right out of your life. One day, they're going to leave and they're not going to come back. You know, that's why some people leave and disappear. You know? That's why people do what they want to do when they want to do it. Because if you're not showing that person no respect, why the heck do you think they're going to show you any respect? Why do you think that you deserve respect? Because you working. I don't care if you working a 9 to 5, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week. I don't care. That still don't give you no right, you know, to think that you better than them and you could talk down to them. You know, people get tired of that. People got feelings. Like I said before in my other segment, people got feelings. You just can't say what you want to say to a person and then think it's all good and they're just going to brush it under the table and it's going to be all lovey-dovey again. No, because they got that planet in deep inside their brain. They got that planet. And then they wait until a good time to bring all that out to you. You know, because some people really do need courage to bring that out to you. You know? And then I don't care if they bring it out, you know, in a positive, negative way. Even if they bring it out in a positive way, it's still going to be an argument because the person that think that they got it all together and they got the job, they still going to try and look down on their significant other in some type of way. They're going to want to try and listen to reason to understand the other person's feelings because they want to be right because they think, oh, I'm paying all the bills. They don't do nothing. They do this. They do that. You know, da, just complaining all the time. If you're complaining so much, get the heck out of the relationship and you'll be done with it. You don't have to never ever see that person again. You know, move on. You don't have to stay together because you got kids. You know, people can get visitation rights. I don't care who got the kids. If the man got the kids, the woman can get visitation rights. If the woman got the kids, the man can get visitation rights. If you don't got no kids together, that's even more better. You could just part ways and be done with each other. You never have to speak to each other again in your natural life. Boom, be done. Bye, see you later, good riddance. You know? Nothing holding y'all together. No attachments. You know, be on different corners of the earth. Just be done with each other. Especially if you know you're in a toxic relationship. You know, it's so toxic, you can smell the fumes in the air. That's how toxic it is. You know, it's just burning. Like burnt rubber, you know? It's just so toxic. You know, and you cannot help nobody else in their relationship when your stuff is all toxic. This fumigating the air. You know, this polluting the air. You know? This be done. Because that's how sad and pathetic and pitiful that some people's relationships is. You know? And then especially when you got small kids and babies and stuff. Come on now. These babies going to think that's okay. That my man can punch me in my face, punch me in my eyes, choke me up, threaten me. That's okay. Same thing with the man. You know? Oh, that's okay. You know, what kind of example are y'all setting for your kids? And the man, he's scared. So what example are you setting for your son? Oh, it's okay for my girlfriend to punch me in my eye, choke me up, do all type of things, you know, and you can't defend yourself? Come on. But it's okay if a woman hit a man, he can't hit her back. Because when the man hit a woman, he wrong. You know? Both of you wrong. Men do not hit women. Women do not hit men. Like I said, act like you want to scratch your head, put your hands in your pocket. Or separate. Just be done. You know? Because all this bickering back and forth and all that, it's never going to get solved. It's just going to go on and on and on and on. Nobody's going to get nowhere. It's going to be the same thing every day, every year, on and on. Till somebody end up getting hurt. And like I said, especially when children there, they think that's right. Especially if you got little girls and little boys. Little girl, she's going to think that's okay that a man can jump on her. The little boy going to think it's okay for a woman to jump on me. Because that's the type of life that y'all leading. You know, neither parent is setting no type of good example for your children at all if you're in these type of relationships. I know, because I said I experienced these things. You know, and it takes some people longer to get out of these type of relationships. You know? But once you get out of the relationship, don't go backwards, keep moving forward. Because why would you put yourself in a toxic relationship? You know, because you figure, oh, my kids is grown now, and I could go back to this man, or I could go back to this woman. No, keep moving forward. Don't go backwards, because that person has not changed. They just got older. As the time and the years go on, all they got is older. They still got the same mentality, the same thought process, the same everything. Nothing changed with that person. So ain't no sense in thinking in the hopes of, oh, now it's better now because the kids is grown, you know, so it's just me. Now I'm by myself. Now we could try and make this work. No, if it didn't work the first time, what make you think it's going to work a second time or a third time or a fourth time? I mean, you could try and try and try. If the puzzle don't fit, just do away with it. It don't fit. If your puzzle don't fit with that person, you got to find that piece to your puzzle. You know? Because if y'all don't fit like a puzzle, no, that's not the right person for you. You got to find that puzzle that fits your piece of puzzle. You know, once you find that puzzle that fits your piece of puzzle, then the search is over. You can stop. Like I said, it's somebody out there for everybody. It may take, I don't know, years, months, weeks. It all depends. You know, but the person is out there. And once you find that one true, honest, loyal, sweet, considerate, understanding, communicative person, honest, loyal person, you know, non-violent person, you know, don't use, you know, profanity towards you, don't use verbal abuse towards you, then that's the person for you. loving, kind words to each other. That's what love is. Love don't hurt. Love don't say mean things to you. You know, I know everybody gonna have these little stupid, little silly, little arguments here and there, but nothing crazy. You know, because every couple do that. Married couples, people that's courting, everybody goes through, you know, these little arguments, but nothing really like major, like blow out of proportion where you got to get the police involved. No, nobody have that, but everybody have little silly arguments. Not till it gets physical and it gets more verbal abusive, you know. But you don't need a person in your life that's so violent and so volatile and just say mean, hateful stuff, and then you got little kids looking up at y'all, arguing and fighting, and then crying and they scream and all this stuff, and the neighbors they hear and they coming out the yard, the neighbors calling the police on y'all. So that's crazy. That's madness. Who want to live like that day after day, year after year, minute after minute? Because you don't know when the next hit, bam, gonna come. You know. Or you don't know what's going to come through the door. Your nerves is up. Who want to live in fear? Because that's what it is. You're living in fear. You're not comfortable in your own skin. You're living in fear. Your nerves is up. You know, that's a terrible way to live. It's time to get out of it. Like I always say, if nothing changes, nothing changes. You yourself as the victim got to change it. The victim got to change it. Because the abuse ain't going to change it. The victim got to get their self out of that situation. That man got to get himself out of that abusive situation. That woman got to get herself out of that abusive situation. That's it. You know? When they come home, they won't see nobody. You be gone. You, the kids, or just you by yourself be gone. You know? Because you don't got to put up with that. Enough is enough. Or, you know, tell them they got to go. And if they don't want to go willingly, then you got to call the law on them. Then they got to be forced to leave the premises. You know, so why should you have to run out of your home because you got an abuser there? They just going to take over, do what they want to do to you, and say what they want to say to you, you know, and your children and stuff like that, you know. Get their behinds removed off your premises. You know, it's help out there. You know, for everybody. You know, that's why they made the law. You know, use the law while it's out here, you know, to help you out. Don't stay in a situation because you in the hopes of, you know, you staying for y'all, you staying for the kids. After that, it's a done deal. You got to go because you don't try, and you've been with the person for years, and they not changing. Be like, okay, this woman is just not going to change. This man is just not going to change. So I got to be the one to change it. Much as it will hurt you that you got to leave that person that you love so much, you got to do it for your own sanity, for your own well-being, for your own health. You know, you got to leave the person. You got to love them enough to leave them. You got to love them enough to love yourself to leave them. You know, it's about self-care. You know, you got to take care of yourself. Because, you know, being nervous and scared and all that, that'll kill you quicker than cancer. Because you can't sleep, you can't eat, and it'll show. You know, it'll show on you. Because you start losing weight and everything. Sometimes you get physically sick where you have to end up in the hospital. It's a very serious thing when you're scared and nervous, you know, in your own home. And that's bad when you're scared and nervous in your own home. So you can't sleep, you can't eat. You're sleeping with one eye open, you know, because you don't know what this woman is capable of. You don't know what this man is capable of. Because now they're beyond crazy. You know, some people get so diabolic, you know. It gets ugly and it gets dangerous. So you got kids or something, you got to put you and your kids to safety somewhere. You got to go to safety somewhere. You got to go to a safe place somewhere. You know, you can't be in a relationship no more. Even if you're not even thinking about your well-being, you got to think about your children's well-being. You know, because now it's like more than out of control. You know, to the point that they'll come looking for you. Because now they mad you left them. Like, come on. Now you got to get the law involved to catch them before he catch you and hurt you and your kids, or just hurt you and take the kids. Then the law still got to find them because they don't got the kids. It's just a total mess. It's terrible. You know? So all that domestic violence is a very serious thing, because a lot of people lost their life by the hands of their boyfriends or their husbands or the hands of their girlfriends or the hands of their wives. So it works both ways, y'all. It ain't always men. It's a lot of women out there, you know, that be bullying their boyfriends and their husbands and beating and whooping on them too, you know, and slave driving them around the house to do everything. You know, it's not right. You know, even if the man is working, he still got to come home, cook, clean, do this and do that. Like, come on, you've been sitting on your behind all day. You know, you're not cleaning the sheet up. Get up, cook, clean, make sure that man's dinner is done and everything. He can take a shower, sit down, eat, relax, and everything, and vice versa. The same thing, you know, with the man, if he's home. Make sure your wife have a nice dinner when she come home. She can take a shower, sit down, chill, and relax and eat her dinner. You know, everybody got to learn to work together. You can't throw everything on that one person just because they home. They could do it. A person's not a robot. Like I said, everybody bleed blood. Everybody got to rest. You know? You can't put all that on one person because they home. Neither. You know, because while people's home, they doing stuff. They doing laundry. They taking care of the kids. They running errands, you know. Maybe running out doing bills. Going grocery shopping. Cleaning the house. You know, mopping. There's always something to be doing at home. You know? Because your mind is just constantly going. You know, you're doing something today. You're thinking about tomorrow. And tomorrow didn't even get here yet. You know? And that's always an ongoing thing. Like your mind never rests. And it's good to sit down and relax in a nice hot tub. Meditate. Put candles around. You know, give your mind a rest. You know, don't think about nothing. Be like blank. You know? Because your mind is ready. Okay, I'm doing this. And you think about tomorrow. Tomorrow ain't get here. You know, everybody got to slow down. So all that brings tension and stuff. You know, and that's what gets people arguing. You know, because you may not have enough to pay this bill. So you run from Peter to pay Paul. So that's when all the arguing come in at. You know, other, you know, personal matters come into play where people be arguing. You know, and then it gets, you know, volatile and violent and stuff. You know, you just got to separate yourself from each other. You know, much as you would hate to say goodbye to that person, you have to. And it's sad because you really love that person and you really wanted to spend your life with that person, but they were just so violent. You know? For what? Because you don't have control over your own life? That is so freaking sad that a person don't think before they act and ruin a nice relationship that they could have had. You know? That they just could have had. And they ruined it. You know? And it's just mind-boggling. Then they say, oh, back then, well, I'm sorry, you know, da, 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 da. It's too late. It's too late. Like, are you serious? It's too late. Especially when you know, you tried your hardest, you tried your best. You know, just pulling out your hair strings out of the root of your head, trying to, you know, get this relationship to get together, and he's like this. You know, you still trying to get together, he's like that. And he, or she's, all over you. It's sad, you know? And still trying to hang in there until somebody ends up getting hurt. This call it a done deal. Break up as friends. If you can't break up with friends, just part ways. You know? And with that, I want to say, everybody learn from each other. You know, you always learn something from that man. You learn something from that woman. And with that, you just say, thank you, next. And just keep moving. You don't give up on love because there's somebody out there for everybody. There's somebody out there for you. You know, if it's not that, so if it's not that woman, then it'll be another woman for you. If it's not that man, it'll be another man for you. You know, so you don't give up on love. Be like, oh, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to be alone by myself for the rest of my life. No, that's not true because God made man and woman. He made Adam and Eve. He made man for woman and woman for man to become fruitful. You know, that means make plenty, you know, make the earth prosper with many people. You know what I'm saying? So you never give up on love. Don't give up on yourself. Just because that 5th or 6th relationship didn't work, you just keep on working. I don't care if you went through 40 relationships. You just keep on going because love is out there for you. You gotta trust and believe in Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit. Somebody's out there for you. You just got a couple of bad apples, in that bunch. But it's always somebody out there for you. It's always a woman out there for you that's gonna appreciate you, don't dog you out, don't talk down to you. Like you some trash, because God don't make trash. And people that have children, don't give birth to trash. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's a human being. So people got to watch what they say to people. Don't be hurting people's feelings. Because there's always somebody out there for that young man that's going to appreciate you and love you and listen to you and interact in things that you like to do, just like they should interact in things that person like to do. If he got an interest in something, that woman should get involved, even if she don't like it, just for that support. And the same thing with the man. If she likes something, get involved in what she like, even if you don't like it. That's called supporting each other and what each other's like their activities and stuff like I'm saying. Like I used to run track and do gymnastics, horticulture, all that stuff, small engines and stuff. So if I was still doing that, I would like my sister and other to be involved in that. And everybody just gotta learn to support each other. But if that person is not there for you anyway, period, don't care about you, not thinking about you when they need you, then that's not the person for you. Especially if you got kids by other people and stuff like that. If they not involved in your kid's life from another woman or involved in your kid's life from another man, then that ain't the man for you and not the woman for you. Why you still trying to stick with these people that not involved in your kid's life from another woman, not involved in your kid's life from another man? Something ain't right with that picture. But everybody want to try and get involved in other people's relationship. Y'all got to get y'all relationship together before you even try and give other people, advice in their relationship. Because ain't nobody no relationship expert. It's okay to give advice here and there, but you got to clean up around your back door and in your backyard before you mess around in somebody else's front yard or backyard. And if that ain't working, split up. That's the best thing that y'all could ever do for each other. People that's violent, in the domestic violence relationship, that's the best thing y'all could do. Split 4 ways like a banana. That's the best thing y'all could do. Because it's going to get worse and worse. It's not going to get no better. Especially if the stuff been going on for years and years and years. Why hold on? You're on the edge of the screen. You're about to fall off. Just be done with it. It's toxic and it's sad. Especially when you got children, it's sad. It's a serious situation. Just be done. And with that, I just tell everybody just to be safe, love each other, or break up. Find somebody, like I said, the men, find somebody that's going to love you and appreciate you, love your kids from another woman, get involved with your kids from another woman, and the men and the woman also. Find a man that's going to love you and love your kids from another woman, from another man. And then everybody can be happy, then y'all can come together and do things like a family unit for the kids, Halloween and Christmas and stuff like that. Because being selfish like that is just about your little family, and this man got kids over here by these women, and that this woman got kids over here by this man, and you don't want to be involved. That's not the person for you. No, it's not right. And I'm Chandelier and I'm keeping it real. So people got to think what they doing. They got to think with their head. You got to think about the kids. Don't think about your own selfish needs. Because kids grow up, kids remember things, and kids knows. They pick up on things. So you got to be careful how you treat other people's kids. Because a lot of parents is not going for that. Then you're going to have problems with their parents. So everybody got to be careful and treat people with respect. Get out of the domestic violent relationships because they is toxic. They is no good for you. They is unhealthy, not just for the adults, but they is unhealthy for smaller children, and it's unhealthy for teenagers that is around all that violent stuff. Get out of relationship. Go seek some counseling. Go seek some help. Go into a safe haven house or something for the men. Women go into a safe haven house for women. And with that, I'm Chandelier and I'm keeping it real, and I will have some more talk for y'all. So if this is for you, tune in and listen to the whole segment. If it's bothering you, still tune in. If it's not meant for you, please stay and tune in and learn something for this. Learn something from this so you don't, get involved in the person that is violent. You know, and that's for men and women. So with this, God bless anybody. God bless everybody, and stay safe. In the hospital, it's a very serious thing when you're scared and nervous, you know, in your own home. And that's bad when you're scared and nervous in your own home. So you can't sleep, you can't eat.